The Plainest Jane. This is one of my favorite comments here. She says, I loves me some black, and she said, loves me some black news. She says, is it just me, or does anyone else get tired of seeing people that don't look like them delivering info about them day in and day out?
I'm your girl, the Plainest Jane, and let's see what's happening in these virtual streets. You ready? All right now. This could be a crazy ride. I'm warning you now. What up and welcome back, everyone. I'm Jane, the Plainest Jane, and I serve syrup in the form of black news and celebrity entertainment, okay? Everybody come on in. I'm having a really good evening. Shout out to everybody who was asking in the chat, how am I? I'm doing great. I hope y'all are doing good too. All right, listen, y'all know things are always sticky in Hollywood, and we're going to get right into it. We have a really good show lined up for you today. So, as far as what we're talking about this evening, in a nutshell, and you can always check out the description box while you're waiting on the bus before we pull off. Always read the description box because it's always full of a lot of juicy stuff. So we're talking about the pink sauce girl. She's back. As you can tell by the title, the pink sauce girl is back. And we're going to talk about why she's back and what's going on. She's back in the news. Breonna Taylor's the leader, right? We know in 2020 we lost someone who was named Breonna Taylor, who was a black woman, right? The cop who took her out got a new job. Interesting. Orlando Brown was bailed out by Zeus Network, baby. And if you can just look at his mugshot, you know this brother ain't right in the head, okay? You know that drugs and mental illness are beating this brother's arse, okay? So we're going to get into that. I want to talk about Tyler Perry, people pulling out Vaseline and playing with their tabernacles on airplanes. What? And so much more that we're going to get into in this show. So I am really excited to talk to y'all this evening. Make sure y'all hit thumbs up, have a seat on the bus. Shout out to everybody in the live chat. And look, let's get ready for takeoff. We ain't really got no whole bunch of time to waste. Shout out to all the channel members. I see all of you all here. Okay. Pink sauce in Walmart for $1.98. Baby, we gonna get to that sauce that is now on clearance. Maybe that's why she's back in the news. Now she's trying to rev up some more social media steam because she realizes this is how she got all of the buzz that she got initially. Okay, so it's Monday evening, right? It's 11 o'clock, 11:04 to be exact, over here in Baltimore. And I hope that your week has been off to a marvelous start. I've had a great Monday. It's been a very productive and prosperous Monday for me, and I can only hope the same for you. I told y'all that last night before we logged off. I said, listen, I hope y'all have a good week. It's the beginning of the week. I can only hope for the best things for you all. So I definitely created some affirmations and did some meditation, and I'm glad that my Monday went amazing, and I can only hope and manifest that the rest of my week will follow suit. Okay. So, listen, we're going to get ready for takeoff. Okay. We got a new subscriber, Mr. Miami 305. What up, the Plainest Jane? How you doing? How you feeling? Much love and respect. I'm feeling amazing. And thank you so much for coming through and being a new viewer. I know I literally just met you in another chat, like, what, I want to have 2 hours ago. So shout out to you for following me over here. I definitely appreciate that. Okay. Who is the pink sauce person? Oh, really? Oh, you don't know. Oh, you're in for a treat. I'm going to fill you in. So listen, we're going to go ahead and get ready for takeoff, baby. Buckle your seat belts. Okay. Now, first and foremost, what I do want to let you all know is your mental health is important. Okay. If your mental health isn't in order, click away from this video and baby, I'm going to talk to you later. All right. You ain't going to catch a whole bunch of content creators that's going to be like, listen, click away from this video because your life might have priority over these topics, right? But honestly, I care about y'all. I care about each and every one of my stickies. If you're over here watching my channel, then you are a sticky. If you're a supporter, mental health is important. So let's get ready for takeoff. Buckle in, pay your fare, which means if you ride my bus, you ain't got to pay no money, but pay your fare, which is hitting the like button, and feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. Let's go ahead and get ready for takeoff, shall we?
thePLAINESTjane. This is one of my favorite comments here. She says, I loves me some black, and she said, loves me some black news. She says, is it just me, or does anyone else get tired of seeing people that don't look like them delivering info about them day in and day out?
All right, and we are back. Let me just go ahead and say this real quick to the makeup girlies. If you're a makeup girly and you like to understand what are the high-end sales, what are the deals, check out Deeper Than Skin Deep, okay? Deeper Than Skin Deep is an amazing channel over here on YouTube. I've checked out her channel. I don't promote people who don't have legitimate quality work, and Deeper Than Skin Deep is one of those channels where she's letting you know when Ulta, when Sephora have those sales. Most of the stuff that she talks about are high end, but she does do some drugstore stuff too. So if you want to treat yourself to a high-end product every now and then, if you want your significant other to buy you something and you want to check it out and get a good, honest, thorough review and breakdown on it, subscribe to Deeper Than Skin Deep. I just dropped her link down below in the chat. And when you subscribe, just find any one of her comment sections and drop some pancakes in the chat so that she knows who sent you. Okay. So to all of my moderators, if you could just occasionally drop her link down below in the chat. All right. Now let's go ahead and get ready to pull off. We've gotten some things out of the way. Listen, today was a bizarre day in the media, right? The number one thing that really took over the headlines was Don Lemon and Tucker Carlson getting fired literally almost, it seemed like, within the same 15-minute span. Two totally different networks, CNN and Fox News. Now, Tucker Carlson, was something that we kind of like expected. He's always saying and doing some really extreme MAGA country mess, right? He's always, and there's a lot of, I mean, for the moldy orange Trump to always be talking about fake news, fake news, fake news, he was always pumping out fake news, right? And it seemed like Fox didn't care for a long time because despite the fact that he was the most popular and had the highest rated show, he did become a liability. But when I tell you these publications got real sticky and bold, baby. They was playing no games today with the wordplay. Child, when I tell you I fell out, here go the front page of the New York Post and Huffington Post. Okay, so the New York Post goes up and says, Lemon drop. Stunned anchor Don Lemon out at CNN after 17 years at the network. Okay, he was fired. We found out Tucker Carlson was fired first, and literally 15 minutes later, we found out that Don Lemon was fired. So they got lemon drop on the front page. Baby, I died. If you a baby and you don't know what a lemon drop is, it's a drink. For some people, it's a shot. For some people, it's a martini. It is an alcoholic or an adult beverage, okay? Tucker, they say tuck off as a play on fruck off, okay? And they definitely chose the right photo. I was no more good when I saw these headlines. I said, these publications have gone wild today. But like I said, when it comes to Tucker Carlson, we all saw it coming. The liability, the lawsuits, he felt like, well, I get high ratings. It doesn't matter what I say. As long as I'm bringing in the views, the ratings, and I have the #1 show, it doesn't matter. But there is a string of lawsuits following him based off of the false and defamatory things that he has spewed on Fox News. And a lot of us know Fox News to be a really like faulty, not trustworthy source, right? And for Don Lemon, he says he was stunned, right? And arguably, more times than not, he is typically on par. And again, this is arguable, right? more times than not, he's on par with the Black perspective or the Black, consensus. But he's a little misogynistic, right? He's a little sexist. And I think that might have got him in some trouble. But there was also a sit down interview that he did with someone sometime last week where they were trying to say that, like, basically the Second Amendment right is what liberated African Americans, which honestly is not true. But he was really going toe to toe with this man. This man, he wasn't Black. And so he was kind of he was really firing back at this guy. The guy really couldn't finish his sentences because he was trying to push falsities and propaganda and all these other things. And as a journalist, you're supposed to. And with Don Lemon being a Black person, a lot of people are speculating. I can't play the clip here because I don't want to catch copyright. But a lot of people are speculating. Word on the street is that played a role into Don Lemon being let go from the network. So that is a very nuanced conversation, you could say. We got some things to talk about this evening. Let me see, because I did tweet about this. I did tweet a response, but you know what? That's a little too deep for the beginning of the show. It's very nuanced. I'm not trying to get too political, but honestly, in that instance, Don Lemon has been wrong plenty of times, right? But Don Lemon was right for what he was saying. Like, you cannot tell a Black person that the Second Amendment right is what freed us, because it absolutely did not, right? And so my whole thing was, listen, if that's the interview and him pushing back on that man that's not Black, trying to tell Black people about their history with some bullshit propaganda, revisionist history, then Don was absolutely right. And CNN has some explaining to do if that's truthfully playing a large role into why he was let go. But if you follow me on Twitter, you've already seen some of my takes on these things. So it's very important to follow me on Twitter. The things that I can't say here, I say on Twitter. And I'm thinking about making a Rumble so I can really be uncensored with what it is that I want and I need to say. But listen. Linda, is it not ironic that both Tucker Carlson and Don Lemon both got canned in the same day? What could have been happening on the back end that both of them got canned on the same day within the same 15-20 minute span? Like, what's really going on? Could it be that CNN and Fox had a little secret meeting and really wanted to put the both of them to shame together? Cue the conspiracy theory music. What's really going on here? Then we have all of the rumors on the streets about them potentially doing a podcast together. And listen, I can't say that those things are necessarily true, right? But I can say it's very lucrative, right? Neither one of them have confirmed it. You know, Chris Cuomo, when he got let go because some things came out about him being inappropriate, he went to, I believe it was Newsbreak, a network, huge pay cut. But it seems that company is extremely interested in both Don Lemon and Tucker Carlson. Don Lemon says that he can't believe that this happened. This caught him off guard. He's stunned, and management didn't even have the decency to speak with him and have a conversation with him about this after his longstanding relationship with this company. And he released a statement on Twitter. Soon thereafter, here comes CNN. This is not true. We offered to have management speak with him, and he basically denied it and took to Twitter instead of taking the opportunity. News Nation, that's what it is. Excuse me. News Nation interested in them. Don Lemon, that's not true. We did offer for management to speak with him, and instead he kind of just left and put a statement on Twitter instead. So there's some things going on here. I don't personally believe, and I would really need for one of the two of them to confirm that the quote unquote podcast is true coming from them too. But I will say it would be lucrative. I don't think that they share the same views, but with this news being the top story for the next couple of days, and with them having opposing political beliefs, I do think that both of their names might actually pull in some numbers, at least initially, right? Who knows what production is going to be like? Even if people are just hate watching, I do think that they're going to get a lot of views, if, right, or a lot of listeners and ratings, if and when, right? Well, not when, if they did do a podcast together. Shout out to Dreaming Edmund, becoming a member. Stickies, it's fun over here. Thank you so much for increasing your membership for 4 months. And then also, I think, what is it? Tasha Nicole increased her membership for 11 months. Thank you so much. Okay. I don't know if that's they increased their membership or if they've been a member for however many months, but nonetheless, thank you for your support. Okay. Now, also, I want to talk about Target really quickly. Target implemented, or a specific location, but there's a handful of Targets who are implementing a different been a member. Okay. Target is implementing something different. Okay. And I really want to know what you all think about this. And if you've seen anything like this in your local Target or in your local Walmart. So at a San Francisco location, they are in the middle of a severe shoplifting crisis. Okay. Toiletries, cosmetics, soaps, toothpaste, all of them are under lock and key. And I want to take a look at the video that is associated with this. I just want to know if you could imagine the store. I get that some things are on lock and key, but this is a lot of stuff. This seems like nearly everything. Okay. So look at this. Like, could you imagine going into Target and having to ask for an associate to unlock every single thing that you need from the store? I mean, everything. The entire store, right? This is really stunning. Every lotion you need, it's a lot, right? So what is your experience with seeing things like this in a mild or like a bigger capacity, right? I totally understand the expensive stuff, the headphones, the electronics, but it's a little extreme. It's a little extreme. For me, I wonder how sustainable this really is, because once you ask for it, you're then free to walk around with the items, right? Like once you get them unlocked, it's not like you can say, just go through with a checklist like you're in IKEA, and at the end of the situation, just get everything that you need, and then boom. So once you ask for it and you're free to walk around with it, you could still run out of the store with it, right? And how taxing is that on the employees, that every time people want a product, they have to seek an employee? How is that boggling down and wearing down the man hours and the employees? How much are they able to focus on their jobs outside of literally retrieving each and every item that a customer needs from the store? Now, what I do want to let you know, and what I found really interesting in my research, is that Target is one of those stores that has a very strict no chase policy. And what that means is the employees are told very, very stern, right, in a very stern way, that you are not to chase these customers if and when they are shoplifting. If they're stealing and they're running out of the store, you are not supposed to chase them. And Target isn't the only store that has a no chase policy. Foot Locker, Home Depot, CVS, Walgreens, TJ Maxx, Kroger, Marshalls, the list goes on, right? And so Walmart, however, is a little different. Walmart is allowed to keep you from leaving the property, but they can only detain you for a quote unquote reasonable amount of time. So I did find some data via a recent survey by Loss Prevention magazine that shows that 78% of retailers have a no chase policy, 45% have a no touch policy, and 18% don't allow apprehension at all, right? And I think that when consumers understand that, they understand which stores, because it's not difficult to see and understand which stores have a no chase policy. So when they know, well, look, they can't chase me, they can't touch me, they can't detain me, it makes it a bit more lucrative for them to want to steal, right? Because they feel like there's going to be little to no catch rate. Like there's going to be no chase because there's a no chase policy in place. So I do think that it leads to more frequent, more emboldened, and more planned shoplifting. But I also think that it shows that they value their employees over their inventory. And I do think that that is important. I do think that that is important. Okay. So, what are your thoughts? What are your experiences? And listen, that's whether you're on the bus right now, which means you're right here on the replay. You're one of the 230 people who are right here watching us live in real time, right? Or if you're chasing the bus, which means you're watching the replay, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments or the chat if you're here right now. Now, listen, what we really need to do is get these likes up. We're at 230 people and 109 likes. Y'all gonna make me have Tyra Banks cuss y'all out this early? I'm not like, why haven't more of y'all hit the thumbs up button? I done given y'all data. I've given you information. We're gonna be informational, educational. We're also gonna laugh on this. It's a very well balanced buzz, baby. Hit that button before I get Tyra on y'all. I don't.
Why?
Don't make me get ugly. I will go get Leo and let him moon y'all and show y'all his little booty butt. Okay? Hit that damn button. Okay? And the more y'all hit thumbs up, maybe I will go get the cat. Okay? I'll go get the cat. All right? But look. Leo. Get down. Get down. It's not a thank you because it's not a question. I will go get that sassy cat and make him cuss y'all out. Okay. All right. So real quick, I do hope that y'all are feeling all right. Make sure your mental health and your invisible problems are okay. Shout out to our new subscribers. We got like 60 new subscribers yesterday. And I do want to say thank you all and acknowledge you all. But of course, before I get into breaking down today's viral topics and current events, make sure that you subscribe, thumbs up or down. Honestly, either way, I do appreciate it. But don't forget to think critically and independently, regardless of what you hear from me or anybody else. All right. So let's go ahead and get right into it. If you don't know where you are on the Black News Bus. The Black News Bus is a social media stroll that covers Black topics inside of the celebrity world, but it also covers real Black news involving everyday people like you and me. And, I always got some nuggets of Black excellence and Black history, and we're going to get into those today. So one of our first stories we're going to get into, now that we done got our little warm up out the way, Tyler Perry is set to direct a Netflix film. It's a little suspect, but before I give you my opinion, let me give you the facts. I'm concerned about this production, okay? But let's get into the information, honestly. Tyler Perry is set to direct a film about the largest all-Black woman battalion to serve in World War II, okay? I had a really good time preparing this show for you all, okay? I have a really good show prepared for you all today. So I'm really excited to present it to you all. Really well balanced. Just the amount of seriousness, the right amount of laughs, the right amount of educational and informational stuff. It's just awesome. So take a look at this graphic that I made for you all earlier today while I was at work on the clock at my 9 to 5 child. In the meantime and in between customers. So like I said, Tyler Perry is set to direct this film about the largest all-Black woman battalion to serve in World War II. So he's writing and directing this story of the 6,888th Battalion, which was, again, the largest all-Black woman battalion in World War II. And they were actually named the 6888, obviously 6,888. Now, the women were deployed from February of 1945 to January of 1946, and they were tasked with processing millions of pieces of undelivered mail. Now, the film is based on an article written about the women, right, for World War II History magazine. And their story went untold for 75 years. And if you don't know, President Joe Biden officially granted the women the Congressional Gold Medals just last year. just last year. So these women faced racism and imminent threats from German armies to clear more than 17 million pieces of mail in half the time expected. These women saw the backlog of mail as not just a clerical issue, but a real impact on the troops' morale. And they took their jobs very seriously. So Tyler Perry is set to tell the heroic story of the 855 women whose contributions were almost forgotten. So this film will be produced by Tyler Perry Studios alongside Nicole Avant's Excellency Productions and Intuition Productions, Carrie Selig, and Carolina Espinoza. So this is Tyler Perry's fourth film under his partnership deal with Netflix. And check this. He's also working on, now this blew my mind. Tyler Perry is also working on Sister Act 3 with Whoopi Goldberg, which is set to reprise her role as Sister Mary Clarence. Not only do I think that we don't need another Sister Act, leave well enough alone, but Tyler Perry for this amazing moment in Black history. And then Tyler Perry for Sister Act 3? Huh? I'm not sure if we can trust him because you know how Tyler Perry be missing the mark sometimes. Tyler Perry's plays were always better than his movies. I'm going to say it. I don't care what you think. Tyler Perry's plays were always better than his movies. Always. Always. And those of us who go way back, we know we was watching those plays on DVDs. Okay? Can we trust the wigs? Tyler Perry always got some struggle wigs going on in his stuff. Can we trust these headpieces? Can we trust the writing? Sometimes the writing seems very stale, overperformed, like they've done it a million times. Like they're not excited to do it, or it's not natural, right? Sometimes actors, they're allowed to improv in between scenes to put a little bit of realisticness and their personality into what that scenario is. And sometimes the writer is too gung-ho or the director is too gung-ho to let go of their initial vision, even though it wasn't as realistic. Can we trust Tyler Perry with this? Put a 9 in the chat if we can trust Tyler Perry with both Sister Act and this moment in Black history when it comes to 6888, with the largest all-Black women battalion to serve in World War II. And put a 9. Put a 9 if we can trust him, and put an 8 if we can't. Put a 9 if we can trust Tyler, and put an 8 if we can't. Okay? If there's a moderator who's willing to help me out with timestamps this evening, please let me know. Okay? So that's that. All right. That's that. Somebody said 8.5. Child. That's a lot of 8s. It's a lot of 8s out here, baby. I just wanted to know how y'all feel. I just wanted to know how y'all felt about it. Now let's zoom in on this, because if you don't know, there is a special appearance. Actually, let me make it full screen for you really quickly. Kerry Washington is going to be in this. Okay. So if we zoom in a little bit, we can see Kerry Washington. Filming has already began. I don't know if they've already wrapped filming, if they are in the editing phase yet, but he's already began this. And as you can see, I put here in this image, you can see an original photo from the original women who were a part of this iconic moment in history, and they only just got their just due last year via the congressional gold medals from President Joe Biden. Again, this was a story that went untold for 75 years. So I do think that it's a story that needs to be told through any medium, whether it's film, book, whatever. I'm just not sure if Tyler's the right one for it. I'm just not sure. But any and all thoughts, I would like to hear from you all down below. And is he good at telling history, right? When has Tyler ever really told history via his film? It's more about his cheap laugh, gags, and giggles more, and his jokes rather than history. Like, can we trust Tyler with Black history? If he does it and he does it well, then okay, I'll give him his props and maybe he should do more. But I'm unsure. Will this be a documentary style, or will he be putting a Hollywood spin on it where we have some inaccurate facts in here as well? It'll be interesting to see how this plays out, but I'm uneasy about it, and it's a little sus to me. It's a little sus. I don't know. I'm unsure. Okay, but moving on to the next story that we have to discuss this evening. Someone said, I believe so. He's done some good drama films. Yeah, but drama and Black history are two totally different things. And drama, see, Tyler Perry's definition of drama is what? It's taking globs of trauma. Even when it comes to him talking Black women in our experience, oh, y'all get me started. When it comes to talking about Black women and in our experience, he calls himself telling the story through the lens of a Black woman without consulting with Black women and just slopping globs of trauma down with no tact and recording it and not caring about a Black woman's hair and what it looks like and how it makes her feel and how it contributes to the story and how she perceives herself and her confidence and how society perceives her as well. I just don't feel like he does his due diligence when it comes to telling stories about especially the Black woman. And that's where a lot of his focus is. This is a group of lots of Black women. So can we really trust this from him? We've tried to tell Tyler a million times, even when, what was that movie? A Fall from Grace. That main actor, where the guy was like, ashtray. That main actress, the woman who was supposed to go get the ashtray, she had to argue with Tyler about her hair. And he was like, I don't care about your hair. I spent a lot of money. I got things to do. And I'm like, you don't care about a Black woman's hair and you're trying to tell a Black woman's story and you don't understand that our crown is everything to us, let alone on screen. And it's clear he doesn't care about Black women's hair and how they feel about it. It's throughout his whole catalog. His whole resume, we can see he don't give a fuck about a Black woman's hair. And that is something that's most important to us. Most important to us. So how can you tell our stories if you don't care about what we care about? And we are Black women. Well, I watch my mama go through things, so I feel like I can tell stories about Black women. By not including Black women in the writing room, in the process, and on the director's floor, and as floor runners, that doesn't make sense to me. But don't get me started. Let me take a step back, because y'all know I can give y'all a whole dissertation on how I appreciate Tyler Perry and his work ethic. I will never take that from him. He's a very hardworking man, but he seems to be very hard-headed. And for him to be writing and directing this, and for him to flex and say, I fired my entire writing room and I wrote 10 episodes in one weekend, and we watched the episodes and we can tell that's not the flex you think it is. You writing a whole season in one weekend in 2 to 3 days is not the flex you think it is. And it's not doing these storylines. It's not doing these actors and their catalogs any justice. None. It's not the flex you think it is. You have more than enough money to bring in the help from professional, new, fresh writers. That stuff that you do on stage with these microwave stories and the plays, it works for these plays. The cheap laughs and the gags and whatever. For the plays, it works. But on screen, that does not translate the same way. The writing that you do for in-person and stage plays does not translate the same way for a big production and a film and a big budget. Did y'all see, what was the latest thing on Netflix? The reunion where he copied Beyonce. What was that called? I watched it and I'm like, what is this? He just threw a whole bunch of chaotic, this person cheating, that person cheating, all the Black women were being treated like trash, and just threw it together. What was that? The Homecoming. Yeah, a mess. A mess. The only reason Acrimony did well is because Taraji knew what she was doing, and Taraji came in there with her own hair. And Taraji has her own style of acting, but all of the other people that he brings on to act in his films, they don't have the luxury of being as demanding as a Taraji. It's just like if Viola or Denzel was to go over there. He's not going to treat Viola and Denzel the way he treats these entry or beginner or these newer actors and actresses. So, nope. Nope. Not at all. But thank you so much, Ahmad, for the $9.99 super chat. I really do appreciate that. How are you doing today? And shout out to GA with Georgia Peach, should I say, for becoming a member of the channel. I appreciate that as well. Okay. So, Janet, he let Janet do her thing though. One of the best things that Tyler did is, why did I get married? I got to give him that. You know, he had Janet and Joe Scott and Malik Yoba and all them, and also A Family That Prays. Those films are filled with seasoned actors and actresses that aren't going to allow you to not let them make that role authentic. Especially, what's the woman that's the twin that was dealing with Marcus, who was cheating with Keisha and all this other stuff? Some of the best things he's ever done, but everything kind of in between that was, baby, when Jill Scott had to go up that mountain, I said, shut. Diary of a Mad Black Woman wasn't bad. He just could have did better with Kimberly Elise's wigs. Okay. Sick of them dogs, the hostess court. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So those are my thoughts about Tyler. Let me wrap that up though, because I could talk for days. I could do a whole Tyler Perry stream. Okay. Don't let Tyler make two mistakes out here in these streets, because baby, I'm gonna come on here and talk for 2 hours about it. So let's move on to our next subject. And listen, if you are looking for ways to support the show, listen, consider just hitting the like button, hit the thumbs up, okay? Or you can send a Cash App, not required, right? No pressure. But if you are looking for a way to monetarily contribute, you can send a Cash App or a super chat. The Cash App is right here on the screen, $THA PLAINESTjane. Make sure you double check it before you send it, THA PLAINESTjane. But any way that you support the channel, whether it's to subscribe, whether you hit the notification bell, or simply hit the thumbs up button, I truly appreciate all of those things equally the same. Okay. So thank you all so much for being here. And let's get into our next story. So on today's episode of What the Hell is Wrong with Y'all? We got to talk about rapper Desiigner. Panda. Now, I saw this story in passing, I would say like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, when it first popped off. Something happened. He was on a first-class Delta flight, and he pulled his tally-knackle out. He pulled his whole tally-knackle out, okay? Like, and checked himself. Okay, let's go into the details. Let me pull up this graphic that I made for you all earlier today so that we can all follow along. All right. Mental health, baby. So Desiigner had an incident on an airplane that led to him checking himself into a mental health facility. So here I have the statement he released. I have a headline and a picture of him, right? All of us have heard his music. You may not remember because it's just too many artists out here right now. However, okay, yes, Michael Jai White. Here's the statement he gave. Let's read through that, and then we're going to get into these details, okay? He had a nerve to pull it out, and then he was beating it off, okay? Just a mess. So we get into this statement. He says, for the past few months, I have not been okay, and I've been struggling to come to terms with what's going on. While overseas for a concert I performed at, I had to be admitted into a hospital. I wasn't thinking clearly. They gave me meds, and I had to hop on a plane home. I'm ashamed of my actions that happened on that plane. I landed back in the States, and I'm admitting myself into a facility to help me. I'll be canceling all of my shows and any obligations until further notice. Mental health is real, guys. Please pray for me. If you're not feeling like yourself, please get help. Okay? So here's what happened. Now we have more details because we really didn't have anything outside of the statement that he had given, checking himself into a facility and hearing some incident of him being in first class on Delta and pulling his thing out, right? Now we hear it was more than him pulling his thing out. He was actually trying to get some cream out of his Twinkie. Okay? So what's happening is this. He has officially been charged with indecent exposure after he allegedly had his thangalang out on a plane. Now we've had more details. So he was in first class of the Delta flight and he was masturbating while in his seat. Now, flight attendants allegedly told him multiple times to stop, and eventually he was taken to the back of the plane where he was monitored by 2 of his friends. So the FBI affidavit says a jar of Vaseline, baby, a jar of Vaseline dropped into the aisle as he was getting up to switch seats. Baby, not Vaseline. Oh, not Vaseline. Somebody come join me in the bush. This is where's the bush?
It was gone.
Let me just go in the bush and weep. Let me just go in the bush and weep. I just have to go in the bush and weep. Really. I don't understand. I swear to God, I don't understand.
That's intense. Like, that's an intense moment. Because in my opinion, I just feel like, ain't lotion easier? You know what I mean? Like, if you using Vaseline, like, you really tugging on your tugboat. Like, you, I mean, like, that take a bit of, like, a bit, you know? Okay. All right. Now, after landing after landing in Minneapolis, the authorities spoke to Desiigner, who told them it all happened because he, quote, didn't really get that much cootie, end quote. It all happened because he didn't get that much cootie. While he was in Japan. So he was in Japan and he didn't get that much. And he said, I was, quote, brick hard because I didn't get that much cootie, end quote, end quote. So he said he was brick hard while he was on the plane. And let me, because this is definitely damn, I took Curry out. Oh. Now, according to the documents, he said he was aroused by the flight attendant and he kind of showed her the magic stick, he said, thinking that it would give her, quote, encouragement. Now, Desiigner said he claimed he wasn't under the influence, saying that he was prescribed medications in Thailand, but he hadn't been taking them. And also, according to the documents, he didn't appear to be impaired. He didn't appear to be impaired during the interview. Now, he checked himself in, right? I think his team knew, listen, this is bad. You on first class, you got your penis out in front of all these people. Put out a statement, check yourself in. You don't have an option. We might even drop you. You're a liability. Check yourself in or else. And so he did. And look, that's all nice that you took initiative to check yourself in. But baby, let me tell you something. This could very well land you on the sex offender list in 6 months. This could land you on the registry, baby. Yeah. Indecent exposure. And then they asked you to put it away multiple times and you said, no, this eggplant needs some air. What? What are y'all thoughts? What are your final thoughts? What are your takeaways? What are y'all thoughts down below? This is I just, nobody would say they're not on the drug. I'm feeling like this was the higher ups making him do something. They say they definitely want to throw him on a registry for sure. And then on first class, you know, if you want a private jet, I mean, hey, do what you want to do. Choke your snake. What they call it? Choke your chicken. Choke your chicken all you want on your private jet. You know what I mean? But baby, you on first class with all these different people, and you gon' panda with his cheeks out. I expect booty sweat on the seats. Oprah girl, get out of here. Oprah starting already. Oprah be coming to my chat cutting up, y'all. Listen, Oprah Winfrey got a whole personality on the side. You know what I'm saying? Oprah comes over here and puts it down. Listen, y'all, Oprah gonna learn y'all something.
Education, special education, psychiatric medication, juvenile incarceration, emotional frustration, and premature extermination.
Baby, you stick around here long enough, Oprah gonna learn you something. She be talking about Stedman, Gayle, all that. All right. Oprah, you mean to tell me Stedman never, y'all was on and he never pulled up? Girl, stop lying. Girl, stop lying. Okay. Let's go ahead and get into the next story. Listen, if you haven't already, dropped some pancakes down below in the chat. What are you waiting for? Feed the bus, pay your fare with a thumbs up, drop some pancakes down below, and we're going to scoot right along into our next story. Okay.
Get into this Black-owned business, Stickies. It's got things for inside your home, outside your home, and even on the go. JasmineMadeIt.com is your new destination for Black Girl Magic mugs, tumblers, and even wine glasses. You can even customize the tumblers and wine glasses. There's a lot going on for a low price over at JasmineMadeIt.com. And if you've been serious about wanting to support more Black-owned businesses, here's your chance. Let JasmineMadeIt.com handle all your problems for family and friends. You ever had a friend over and they just wasn't catching the hint or paying the rent?
Our asses all get to stepping.
Yeah, tell them to get to stepping with this nostalgic Martin-themed doormat and shop over a dozen different doormat designs over on JasmineMadeIt.com. All right, Stickies, you know what time it is. It's time to put your money where your mouth is and shop Black today. Make life easier for you and your household by taking your family's hot or cold beverages on the go with one of these unique tumblers. It's insulated to keep your beverage at temperature, and it comes with a few different reusable straws and even the specific brush that you need to wash it so you can keep it sanitized and germ-free. They've got all kinds of designs to match your mood or style. So grab something for your wife, the hubby, or even the kids over on JasmineMadeIt.com. That's JasmineMadeIt.com, and I'll see you over there.
All right. These text messages are y'all asking what's wrong with Kerry Washington's mouth? I'll show y'all. It's not as bad. It's not as bad as Jaguar Wright's mouth. Because as y'all know, Jaguar Wright, let me see. That's her mouth, right? So it's not as bad as that. Let me see. This is let me zoom in here. Here we go. This is what Carrie's looks like. She makes this face all the time, whether it be Scandal. Look, she be in the middle of some sort of crazy emotion, and she just does that. Child, they even said that this bird looked like her. They said this bird look at this one. Y'all, so that's Carrie's mouth, okay? For the people who were concerned, because I used to have the Kerry Washington meme up here, but I had to swap it out for something else. But nonetheless, that's what's going on with Desiigner, and like I said, mental health is something else. It's something else in general, but especially when you're in the public eye and you're refusing to get help. Again, here's Jagged Edge Jaguar. Here's Alley Cat wrong, right? Cougar incorrect. Whatever you want to call her. When you refuse to get help and you're in the public eye, it gets a little worse because you get big-headed because you feel like because you have quote unquote clout, attention, eyes, numbers on you, and for some people, it's not even about money, right? In Jaguar's case, she ain't making no money. But she's like, but I performed with Jay-Z one time, so I don't have to because, and where's she at now? Sitting in jail because her mouth got reckless, completely reckless with threatening people while she refused to get help. Okay? I didn't know you could even refuse extradition. This woman has refused to be extradited down to Texas where her warrants are. Okay? So listen, get help when you need help, and it's better when you're on a small scale and you don't have the world looking at you. All right? So let's see. We are going to go ahead and get into our next topic. All right. All right. So our next topic here is a bit of a serious topic, and we're going to be talking about Breonna Taylor really quickly. Because one thing we're not going to do is let her name die, and we need to keep the pressure on and really stay informed with what's happening surrounding the people who killed her. Okay, so the Kentucky Sheriff's Office hired a former officer who fatally shot Breonna Taylor. Okay, and there's a protest that was scheduled today in Carroll County. No, not the Carroll County here in Baltimore, Maryland. Well, here in Maryland, right? Those of y'all who know, I'm in Maryland, Baltimore. There is a Carroll County here, but it's not here. It's in Kentucky. So there was a protest planned today in response to the hiring of Myles Cosgrove. And he was fired because he was the one who fatally shot and killed Breonna Taylor. Okay, so ironically, right? Is it really ironic though? He has a new job in law enforcement in a county northeast of the city. And so on Saturday, it was confirmed that they hired him. He was fired from Louisville Metro Police Department in January of 2021 for violating use of force procedures and failing to use a body camera during the raid on Breonna Taylor's apartment. Okay. And so my question to all of you is, are y'all surprised? Are you surprised? Not to mention, he was hired at a sheriff's office. So let me just go ahead and say this. Put a 1 in the chat if you're surprised. Put a 2 in the chat if you are absolutely not surprised by any means necessary. Put a 1 in the chat if you're surprised that the man who killed Breonna Taylor has been rehired at another law enforcement office, let alone a sheriff's office. Put a 1 if you are surprised, and put a 2 if you are not surprised. Again, he was fired for using excessive force during the raid on Breonna Taylor's home. He has a new job. He fired 16 rounds into her apartment, and that killed her. But he's currently on active duty as a deputy for the Carroll County Sheriff's Office. So let's go ahead and listen to this really quick news clip, and then I have some questions for y'all. Want to know what you think, because it can easily make me livid, and I can get mad and not be surprised at the same time, right?
A police merit board has voted not to reinstate the officer who shot her, former Louisville police officer Myles Cosgrove. Cosgrove, who is white, shot Breonna Taylor, who was black, in March of last year. As you may recall, it happened during a no-knock raid at her apartment as part of an investigation into Ms. Taylor's ex-boyfriend. Her family said that he lived in a different part of Louisville and was already in police custody when that raid happened. Breonna Taylor was at home with her boyfriend at the time, and he had a license to carry a weapon. That boyfriend shot at one of the officers, thinking he was a burglar, and investigators say Myles Cosgrove responded by firing 16 shots into the apartment, including the shot that killed Breonna Taylor. He and some of his colleagues have since been fired, and again, the breaking news tonight that a police review board has voted not to reinstate Officer Myles Cosgrove. Thus far, no charges have been filed. No charges have been filed over Breonna Taylor's death.
Okay, so after watching that news clip, And after hearing the details of him literally being rehired, getting another job, in my opinion, it's just like he got transferred. The transfer just took 2 years. He got fired in January of 2021. It's April of 2023. It took 2 years, but he basically got transferred, right? In a surrounding city, right? In my opinion. Of course, he got fired, but if he can still find another job in a similar workforce, then this is a transfer, right? So I want to know, what are your thoughts and takeaways from this egregious story, Stickies? And I'll share mine with you as you comment yours down below in the comments. My takeaway is this sheriff's office in Kentucky, they must condone. They clearly condone, and they're complicit with racial profiling and making your own rules resulting in the death of victims that they serve and that they swore to serve. You've sworn to serve the civilians of whatever district or anyone, really. You're a public servant, right? And so if you can racially profile and make all of your own rules leading to the fatality of a civilian that you're supposed to be serving, then the place that just hired you, they must condone, and they're clearly complicit with your actions and your decisions. It'll be really interesting to see his track record and his conduct in this quote unquote new department. Prime example, will he be wearing his body cam, or better yet, will he be keeping it powered on? We know he powered it off in the case of Breonna Taylor. That's what we do know. Will he be on desk duty, or will he be out in the field? Has he been through any sensitivity or bias training as of yet, or will he be required to do so before his first day? I think that his association with this new department, it makes them look like shit. But then again, they probably don't care about their reputation or what any Black person thinks about it, because he went to apply there and they looked at his name and looked at his face and they said, oh, you're the dude that killed Breonna Taylor. Oh man, you're gonna fit right in over here. That seems like what has happened here. But there's no way you can take on somebody who has made such a grave, deliberate mistake, right? Or action, and say, you know what, come over here and work here. This is despicable. And if we're gonna keep it a buck, it sounds like a promotion to me, because the sheriff's office, right? The sheriff's office is higher on the hierarchy than a regular police officer. Is it not? He didn't even go to another police office. He went to the sheriff's office, where they have more jurisdiction over jails, people who are mentally ill, transporting juveniles who are having issues. They go a bit above and beyond and do a bit more. They have a bit more control pertaining to their duties than a regular police officer does. Those are my final thoughts, but like I said, I'm curious to know yours down below in the comment section. This is a really disgusting and an egregious story. However, it's something that we all have expected. When you talking to the sheriff, you talking to somebody that's here. When you talking to a cop, you talking to somebody that's here. Okay? But I pass the question off to you, Stickies. What are your thoughts, and where do you land on this? So, like I said, we gonna laugh. We're gonna talk about some things. We get serious. But we're gonna go ahead and we're going to, oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Somebody's leaving some really good information down here. Someone says sheriff is county, police is city, state trooper is state. I think it depends on the state, though. think it depends on the state. But in different places, the sheriff has a bit more, they have more, they could do a little bit more than a regular cop, depending on what state it is. But, you know, nonetheless, why is he working in law enforcement at all? At all? Sheriff served court orders. So is he going to knock on door? So nonetheless, I do want to, that's the chain of command. Yeah. So listen, y'all know things are always sticky in Hollywood and in real life. Let's go ahead and turn the energy around a little bit, just a little bit. Like I said, I do want to know what you think down below, but let's go ahead and get into the next topic. It sucks to have to talk about things like this, that things like this are still happening in 2023, but we have to address them and sort out how we feel about them. But it's not something that we can turn a blind eye to, right? So look, things are always sticky in Hollywood and in real life. Don't forget to check on your mental health in the meantime and in between time. I say that all the time, and I truly do mean it. And even if that means clicking off my content, if a subject or a topic is a little bit too touchy, a little bit too emotional, mind your mental health, okay? So let's get into the next subject, okay?
Anyway.
One thing I forgot to tell y'all earlier is if you are shopping on JasmineBrand.com, you can use my code Jane for 10% off that commercial that I played earlier on JasmineBrand.com. Use my code to get 10% off. There's no minimum purchase requirement. So even if you're buying one tumbler, you can use my code to get 10% off. I forgot to tell y'all that. Yes, I had to use Andrew because Andrew, he can turn the energy around real quick. He always gonna give us a key. Louisiana lady says sheriffs have more power. Yeah, absolutely. So let's go ahead. And like I said, if you're looking for ways to support the show, listen, just hit the like button, hit thumbs up. You can send a cash app to thePLAINESTjane, $THA, PLAINESTjane. Double check it before you send, but it's not required. Just hit like or subscribe to the channel. If you've already hit like, if you've already subscribed, take it a step further and hit the notification bell and turn it to all to make sure you never miss any of the notifications. And shout out to all of the channel members. Okay. So, they can override city cops here. Oh, okay. Good point. Their jurisdiction is with our county and they can definitely override the city cops. Exactly. So they do have a bit more power. So is this a promotion, a long-term? For me, it's like he didn't just put in this application last week or last month. He probably put it in last year, February last year, March, June last year. And they was like, listen, let's just let it die down a little bit. And let's just make your start date April 15th, whatever, right? It seems like that could have very well been something that happened here. But, it is what it is. So, listen, as we continue, baby, now we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. We're gonna get down to the nitty-gritty of the funniness, right? Of what we're discussing today. As we continue on today's episode of What the Hell is Wrong with Y'all? Orlando Brown done been bailed out by Zeus Network, child. Zeus Network, as you all know, Orlando Brown is Eddie from That's So Raven. If you grew up on That's So Raven, the Disney Channel, the Disney Channel before, not like, I was about to say Zach and Cody, but is that Nickelodeon? Child, I can't keep up. But That's So Raven was my thing. The Cheetah Girl. I grew up on the Cheetah Girls, and That's So Raven. Like, that was my, like, era. He was Eddie, and his mental health has taken a severe dive. Like, real bad. Real bad. And he's been in and out, and his mug shots are out of this world. He's always cheesing like this. If you don't know who Orlando Brown is, this is the man you see cheesing right here. All of his mug shots look the same. All of them. Okay. He's currently on Zeus Network right now. On Bad Boys LA. And we all know what Zeus Network is about. Tomfoolery. And so apparently a lot was going on. Let me show you this tweet that I gave earlier. Like I said, if you ever want insight into some of the things that I'm going to discuss on the show, that I may discuss on the show, you definitely want to follow me on Instagram. Let's get into, okay, we just cracked 300 in the chat at midnight at 12:06. Shout out to all of y'all. Okay. So, okay, I tweeted this earlier. I said, Natalie Nunn done bailed Orlando Brown out of jail in the name of Bad Boys Texas on Zeus Network. You got him, Raz B, Where the Money Reside under one roof. She ain't seeing heaven. Natalie Nunn ain't seeing heaven, yo. She is not seeing heaven, yo. Let's take a quick look at this trailer here.
It's no more from being the child actor. Orlando Brown is famous for being in controversy.
The first bad boy we bail out.
Oh, for sure,
right to the motherfucking show. Let's go.
Let's get this shit going. I'm not a bad boy at all. I just call it like I see it. And it's not about bad this, bad that. Yo, they came got me what I was in jail. Nigga, I wasn't kidnapped. Holy shit. I was shitting and pissing out of the same toilet that I was making my noodles in. Nigga, I'm trying to tell you some shit y'all niggas don't understand.
He said he was number one and number two and out of the same bowl that he was cooking his noodles in. I know jail be hard and I know it be rough. But excuse me. What you say?
Right there, that tell me that wasn't no bar. That wasn't no bar. Nigga, listen.
Y'all need to stop. Y'all need to grow up. Grow up. Tired of telling y'all to grow up. Y'all need to stop it. I'm tired of it, y'all. You ain't finna work me out.
Baby, he said he as we know, unaddressed mental health and drugs are tearing this brother up. Tearing this brother up real bad. Y'all remember he was on Dr. Phil with them lizard contacts? Y'all remember he got baptized a while ago. Said he was a born-again Christian. Gave his life to Christ. Was with some not black woman. And here he is back out here doing the thing. In addition to the exploitation of said brother at the hands of Zeus, listen, Orlando Brown, look, he recently, yes, he had lizard contacts in. They were like reptile. It was crazy. And Dr. Phil, you know how Dr. Phil be talking to. He recently shared that he is Christ. And Orlando Brown literally encourages people with mental health issues to get that worked out. We're going to take a look. Yes, we are. We're going to take a look.
This is the neighborhood talk, and
Lord, here he go.
And this is the neighborhood talk, and yeah. I think that reality TV is healthy.
Sound not right. Sound not right. Hold up. Okay.
Ain't about just staying in a fucking bubble. The neighborhood talk, and yeah. I think that reality TV is healthy. And I think that, for a long time, I didn't want to do reality, but at the same time, it's a cool thing to do if you really want to connect with your fans, connect with people that actually give a fuck about you, and connect with motherfuckers that are on your level. Everything ain't about just staying in a fucking bubble. And when it comes down to it, everybody gets in trouble. Shit.
How does it feel not being featured in Disney reboots?
Fuck that shit. Like, Raven's doing her shit. I love that shit. I'm doing my shit. She love that shit. We all loving our shit. We loving this shit.
How's your mental health?
Man, everything is going great. I can't complain about anything. I pray that everybody that does have a mental problem gets that shit done, because mental health is health as well. Oh, I am Christ.
How's your relationship?
My name is Orlando Brown, and this is the neighborhood talk, and yeah.
Is reality TV healthy for you?
I think that reality TV is healthy. And I think that, for a long time, I didn't want to do reality, but at the same time, it's a cool thing to
Listen here. Listen. This what shuts all this down right now. This nigga's not okay. He's not okay. That woman over here to his left, our right, she's his chaperone. She is his chaperone. You got a person interviewing him, and she's there to make sure he don't do too much, go over he got a whole chaperone standing right here with him. Come on.
To do if you really want to connect with your fans, connect with people that actually give a fuck about you, and connect with motherfuckers that are on your level. Everything ain't about just staying in a fucking bubble. And when it comes down to it, everybody gets in trouble. Shit. Fuck that shit. Like, Raven's doing her shit. I love that shit. I'm doing my shit. She love that shit. We all loving our shit. We loving this shit. Man, everything is going great. I can't complain about anything. I pray that everybody that does have a mental problem gets that shit done, because mental health is health as well. Oh, I am Christ. My name is Orlando Brown, and this is the neighborhood talk, and yeah.
All right, enough of that. Somebody asked, where's Leo? So I went to go get Leo. So look, let me go ahead and say that. Leo, I literally just woke Leo up, so he a little tired. Okay, yeah, well, they know. I just told him. You coming up here for it? Okay. That's not the right angle, but okay. You just interrupted this whole story. Can you get down here and then go back up? We gotta get the right angle. All right. Here we go. That's it. All right, can you get down? That's it. You can go ahead. Yeah, that's it. Can you get down? Sir, can you get down? Look, I know you tired and all, but don't make me base on you like a black mama, okay? Can you get down? Thank you. Get down. Come on, and move your butt. Little sleepy self. So look, here's the thing. In conclusion, when it comes to Orlando Brown and anybody that they're exploiting over there in general, but especially him, in conclusion, this is what I want y'all to know. Abolish Zeus Network. Okay? Abolish Zeus Network. Abolish them. I've been saying this for a while. Do you agree? I see you staring at me. I see it. Okay, yeah. I'm going off right now. You tired? You should probably abolish Zeus Network. Okay, I said this under one of their posts on the Neighborhood Talk the other day. The girls on Baddies West got into a fight and somebody pulled a gun, and I'm like, they need to abolish Zeus Network. This woman of no color comes onto me and says, "Oh my God, bro, you shouldn't abolish the whole network, just the person. Come on, man." I'm like, this is why you should be minding your fucking business. This entire network, their casting, their execution, and their curation and cultivation of their content is problematic and detrimental to us. Go find you some Mayo business to get yourself into and get the hell up out my face. This whole network is problematic. Don't abolish the network, just the person. Shut up, Bertha. Abolish this damn network. Zeus Network ain't nothing but a boxing ring full of chaos and cameras. Tell me I'm lying. Don't worry, I'll wait. Tell me I'm lying and that network is not anything more than a boxing ring with chaos and cameras. Okay. So the thing about Zeus Network is I'm waiting for them to get a liability lawsuit. And see, here's the thing. It's really unfortunate because we get tired of if you hear anybody say the Zeus Network is a boxing ring full of chaos and cameras, know it came from me, baby. I've been said that. All right, give me my credit. Just like, who was the first person to call Legina lasagna? Don't worry, I'll wait. It was me. So the thing about it is we get so tired of white networks and white publications and white media presenting us in such a derogatory way. And Zeus Network got a nerve to be some for us, by us-esque type of thing. Oh, made by black people, for black people. You are not doing any sort of service to or for us. I didn't mind the first season of Bad Boys LA because it was like catfight stuff. It wasn't even as bad as Bad Girls Club. Like, it was really just about who had the toughest personality, as any reality show was. None of those fights were really fights for real. Like, I mean, you did have Jonathan, like, rip that man hair out. But outside of that, there was no real, but this just seems like chaos here with this Bad Boys Texas thing, right? And so Zeus is not going to be satisfied between Baddies West and Jocelyn's Cabernet situation, the Bad Boys Texas type of thing. they're going to catch a liability lawsuit. They are. Why? Why are they going to catch this? Because they not only do they encourage the fights, they cultivate these fights. These producers know what they're doing. They be people that don't even have problems with one another on set. And the producers go whisper in this person's ear and whisper in that person's ear and say, meet at the kitchen at 12 right now. Let's go in there. And they're talking shit about you. What you gonna do? They encourage the fights. They wait a certain amount of time to break up the fights. So they let these fights happen for a certain amount of time after they put this stuff in a pressure cooker so that they can capture the fight. Boom. They instigate the fight. They let the fight go on. They don't break it up for about 2 or 3 minutes so that they can capture the fights in order to get the ratings that they need for their network. They're going to catch a liability suit. And honestly, I can't wait until the day they do. I don't hope that anyone gets hurt. I don't have to hope for anybody to get hurt on Zeus Network. People are getting hurt all the time, all day and night on that network. Not to mention Krishan and Blueface's show over there on Zeus Network. It's a hot mess. They do nothing but coerce, encourage fights, record the fights, and determine after 180 or 300 seconds, all right, let's break it up now. Now that we got the footage that we need of a fight, now let's break it up. They're not worried about anybody's safety over there. And when I say safety, I'm at the base level, I'm talking about in the physical sense, let alone people's mentality and their psychological well-being. They're not worried about any of those things. And I can't wait until the day that somebody sues them. You've got people over there pulling guns now. Baddies West, they pulling guns now over a lame ass network like Zeus, the bottom of the barrel. Not to say it would be worth it for a Flavor of Love or VH1 or Love and Hip Hop or whatever, but Zeus. Good point right here. And they sensationalize the violence and domestic abuse. They absolutely do. Good points. Good point. Wonderful point. Okay. Point. Oh, it's a mess. Here's another red link. Let me see. It just be too much going on over there. I did pay for Bad Boys LA, I will admit. And I can honestly say I thought about, like, I was considering for a moment, I was considering signing up again. Just to follow the Orlando Brown Rasby Where the Money Reside guy, so that I could really be accurate in how they are exploiting Orlando Brown. But I'm like, I'm not about to put money, I'm not about to put money in their pocket. I'm not about to support this. First of all, the blogs show enough clips that you don't even have to see the whole episode to understand. Between the blogs and Twitter, they put more than enough online for you to really like know or understand what's going on. I don't have to pay for anything. I really don't. So I can't find myself. I feel like I'll still be able to articulate how much of a disservice they are doing to our community in general without having to give them the $5. That's how I feel. But those are my thoughts, and I would love to know how you all feel about it down below. Yeah, I'm not interested in Krishan and Blue and them, but the first season of Bad Boys, I really didn't feel like bad about. And also, you know, one thing that wasn't that bad because there was no violence. It was just like drama, which was what's his face? Roland Ray and Bobby Lights. What was it called? The Conversation, I believe it was. I found that to be entertaining as well, because they're both very much queens, very much drama queens. And it was interesting listening to them read each other, especially Roland Ray in his wheelchair, circling around Bobby Lights, and Bobby just sitting there. And then I just came back from the dead and they said, "You still not that girl." I'm like, bye. It was a goofy kiki, and it was just $5 a month. So it wasn't that bad. But nonetheless, let's move on to the next story. Now, For the Love of Bobby, I didn't watch that crap. I ain't watched that crap. I just wasn't into that. But yeah, the two shows that they got out of me was Bad Boys LA. And I thought that the song was really nice that they made too. I'm not even gonna hold you. And watching them make it, that's a bad boy. You a bad. I thought that song was pretty between mid and I thought it was a good song. So listen, let's get into Bobby, I Love You Purr. Georgia Peach says, I was gonna watch just to see how about they benefit from Rez in Orlando, but I can't get into all the foolery. I just don't even feel like I'm going to be able to keep up because all them other girls that got on there. Now listen, another reason I was into the last season of Bad Boys LA is because y'all remember Andrew Caldwell was in the trailer. Y'all remember? Do you remember? I'm like, if Andrew Caldwell gonna be, and I think that the biggest disservice that they did to themselves in the ratings is allowing the violence to get so out of control that Andrew felt unsafe. Andrew felt unsafe. He did. Like, honestly, he felt unsafe. And he had a right to, because all they did was fight, even though the fights weren't like violent, outside of Jonathan. Because Jonathan, when he fight, but Andrew felt like they about to whip my. So Andrew decided I quit. But if Andrew was going to be on there, it was going to be because Andrew was funny. Andrew Caldwell is so funny. He be lying all day and night. He thinks some people believe it. He changes the lies from day to day. So that's what really got me. And if you go back and you look at the trailer and all that stuff from the beginning of the Bad Boys LA, he was in the trailer, he was in the promo and all that. But when he felt the temperature, he felt it out. He was like, oh, they're going to be fighting this whole time, physically, not verbally. I'm out of here. And he did the right thing because Andrew, he clearly can't fight. He's all mouth. And so he left, right? But that's what really got me in. I ain't even gonna hold you. I'm like, Andrew, where the money reside, Carry On, Franklin, Kirk Franklin's son. That's all it took for me. Those three right there, I'm like, and literally in that, well, no, Andrew, Carry On, and Where the Money Reside. I was interested in seeing how they got along, but yeah, Andrew can't fight, so you know, it is what it is. So he left. He said he was suing because he was Andrew has never said he was autistic. I don't think so. Andrew wasn't trying to get his face messed up. But yeah. So that's that. Let's get into our next story, which is the pink sauce. Do you all remember the pink sauce? Does everybody remember the pink sauce girl? Let me go ahead and get the thumbnail a bit bigger on the screen. Girl, why is she back? Why is she back? She's back in the news. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Okay. And she's got a new sauce. Hold up. Not drinking it. Baby, drinking it. Drinking it. Okay. Here she is. She's got a new sauce and she's drinking it. Right? We all remember how the first sauce went, right? The first sauce, it was the pink sauce. She didn't even know what the FDA was. She didn't know what the FDA was. And when people were telling her the pink sauce, first of all, she completely messed up the nutrition label. The nutrition label didn't make any sense based off of the quantity and the servings that were in her bottle. The pink sauce, a lot of people's review was that it tasted like watered down ranch. And she was sending it out. It had milk, it had dairy in it. She wasn't sending it in any sort of refrigerated way. She was sending it in like regular envelopes and packaging. A lot of them were arriving exploded with glitter in them. She's getting angry and upset at customers who aren't satisfied when really she's putting their health on the line. You can't just send milk in the mail without making sure you send it in the right way and making sure it's, you know, refrigerated or cooled and set in a way that it can preserve whatever's going on. When people were telling her that you need to get this approved by the FDA, she said, this isn't even a medical product. Like, I'm sorry, girl, huh? Medical product? Girl, it's not just medicine that goes through the FDA. It's called the Food and Drug Administration. So the fact that she's selling a product, she's distributing it, she's created a nutrition label, and she doesn't even know what the hell the FDA is, was a major red flag. Not to mention she went on to a show and she belittled a customer who got it and gave her an honest review on it. And I mean, when I tell you she belittled this customer, she was like, don't do that. I'm a Black woman trying to make a name for myself. So don't you dare critique my stuff. And it's like, everybody who you sent this stuff out to with all of these mistakes, the pinks is inconsistent. One pink is vivid orange, pink, like Pepto-Bismol. Another one is light pink, like watery bazooka bubblegum. Nothing was consistent. Nothing was on par. The girl sent it away to go to the lab to be tested. Like, everything was wrong with the product, the presentation, the campaign, her attitude, the show she went on. The host also helped. I think his name, I forget what the guy's name is. He helped her, this pink sauce lady, degrade the customer. It was so bad and caught so much flack that they've deleted the episode, but you know, it's still on YouTube, baby. It's a mess. The pink sauce went through a whole bunch of stuff. However, let me tell you this, somebody did pick up the pink sauce, right? And I just know her sit down air stink, and I know her pee smell like battery acid. And I know every day on the toilet for her is like Taco Tuesday. If she's sitting up here drinking sauces like this is out of control. Nonetheless, she has a new sauce. You can see right here on the bottle, it says, what's his name? Caramo, whatever. And you can see on the bottle, it says Lilac, right? It says Lilac on the bottle. But here's my thing. Let me know if I got my colors wrong. I might have my colors wrong. Do I? Right? But she's calling it blue. Let's scroll down on her page. The bottle says Lilac, and we can see in the caption here, she's calling it blue sauce. And first of all, these glasses is giving Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Like, girl, what is these? I mean, not Power Rangers, Ninja Turtles. Shout, I got it all wrong. What is these furry glasses? I don't understand what's going on with these glasses. I'm trying to understand, but I can't. And it's given I'm really just trying to, this is what it's given. Like, girl, what's going on? What's happening with these furry glasses? Because it's giving very much. Okay, and so what is she calling it? Lilac color. I can't even believe I'm going through this, child. What color is lilac to y'all? Is lilac blue or is it purple? Because according to my Googles, it's purple. But she calling it blue, but she also calling it lilac. So let me just, child. I said Pink Sauce Girl. Again, me on Twitter 14 hours ago. Pink Sauce Girl has now made a lilac sauce. But peep game, she's calling it blue. I went ahead and I Googled lilac is a soft shade of purple. Cause what is this? What is this? Mind you, her pink sauce ended up on clearance at Walmart because, again, a larger company came and they picked it up. I guess they said, listen, the social media buzz is so much. They don't care how much of it is backlash. They just care about the fact that it went viral. Well, it was on sale at Walmart. It ended up on clearance. Okay. And look, it's clearance. Now, mind you, she was selling it $20 a bottle through the mail. So apparently they've been able to scale it. This is a lot lighter than the original color that she was selling it as, because she was more so selling it as, initially it was closer to this label color. But this one comment cracked me up. Somebody said, no, ma'am. I said, you don't want me to send you one? You don't want me to send you none? They said, please don't. Somebody said, absolutely not. With all the horrible reviews for the pink sauce, who asked for the goddamn lilac sauce, blue sauce? This Luther meme was taking me out. Do you hear what I'm saying? It sent me. It sent me real bad. This comment sent me the most, though. This person said, this woman has always been out of her mind. She don't know how to make a product. She doesn't know her colors. She treats people like crap. And in these photos, she looks like a damn fool. Don't eat that shit. You may die, LOL. Honestly. That should be the warning on the bottle. The only reason the pink sauce is getting any money is because someone saved it. And girl, it wasn't her. I said, damn. She always been out of her mind. She don't know how to make a product. She don't know her color. She treats people like crap. Then she look like a fool. Don't eat it. You might die. That should be a warning on the bottle. Someone saved it. And girl, it wasn't her. Y'all, when I tell you I am no more good. Oh, they loaded everything into one tweet. Like, that sent me so dead. Let me get myself together real quick. Oh my goodness. Do y'all think she looked like a fool? Shorty crazy. Here's my question. Again, she's calling it lilac sauce, but she's also calling it blue. My question to y'all is it blue? Put a 3 in the chat if it's blue. Put a 4 in the chat if it's purple. And put a 5 in the chat if you don't give a fuck. Because you ain't going nowhere near this shit. Don't go that way. Put a 3 in the chat if it's blue. Put a 4 in the chat if it's purple. And put a 5 in the chat if you don't give a fuck, because you ain't going nowhere near that shit. madness. I just cannot. The internet is consistently, and I do mean consistently, undefeated. Somebody said 10 out of 10 would not recommend. I ain't never tried it and I wouldn't recommend it either. Because why would you be sitting up there drinking it? That's what I'm saying. Like, I know her pee smell like battery acid. Ain't no way. I get you trying to advertise, but god damn, it's just too much. Some people say it look blue, but it's labeled lilac. Baby, child, make it make sense. Make it make. They said, what the? I hope her weird ass ain't think this video was advertising. Oh, you know she did. You know she did. This is out of control. Y'all drop some pancakes in the chat. If you haven't already hit thumbs up, make sure you do so. Let's get into the next story.
It's time to face it, boo. Your product needs more exposure. If you want to see your ad here on my channel, be sure to shoot an email over to yt.theplainestjane@gmail.com and let's chat. But if you're new in my neighborhood here on YouTube, hey, I'm the Plainest Jane, and I provide coverage and commentary on trending stories, viral events, and Black culture. I definitely appreciate you stopping through and hitting that subscribe button if you'd like more of my particular brand of syrup.
It was a YouTuber, and shout out to her for this good detective work, honey. She's the one who went and was able to put 2 and 2 together. The Plainest Jane. That's the person's name, the Plainest Jane. I couldn't think of what their name was on the podcast, but I wanted to go ahead and shout them out. They're the ones who did the work. All right. So, like I said, shout out to Plainest Jane. She's the one who put that together. So Shekinah was not lying. So when Tiny came back on some, oh, she's making it up, sounded like Tiny's voice to me.
Good point I see in the chat. Hold up. It looked like she put on a yellow hoodie and took her arms out and was like, this is the outfit. That is exactly, okay? That is exactly what she did. I was watching that earlier. I'm like, she ain't got her arms in. I guess she was worried about getting it messed up or something. My stomach's bubbling. I follow him. I think that's Christian Comedy on Instagram. Yes. Ciao. A hot mess, an absolute hot mess. But hey, this is the pink sauce lady that is back in the news, and it was a whole viral debacle when she first came out because everything about that sauce from beginning to end was a complete and absolute hot mess. It was a hot mess, okay? So they said she'll go viral again. And she doesn't mind going viral for all of the right reasons. There were a good 8 to 10, max 15% of people who were really standing on her side. Everybody else was like, girl, get this out of here. This is unsafe. You mad for people being honest about your review, and you're not really concerned about the people's health that you're putting at risk. Like, let's be real. Like, be for real, right? But, you know, she doesn't care why she goes viral. So it is what it is. Moving on to our next story. Listen, like I told you, when we are on the Black News Bus, we talk about things inside of the celebrity world, things outside of the celebrity world that affect everyday people like you and me. And there's always a dash, a dab, and I'm always going to mix in Black excellence and or Black history. Okay. And so with this, I'm really excited to talk about this young man. This young man here, 9 years old, already. He'd accomplished more than I have in my life, okay? I'm not jealous. I'm impressed, and I'm actually inspired, okay? So let me go ahead and put him on the screen. This young man was 10 years old. And his name is Jeremiah Fennell, and he started in journalism when he was just 4 years old because he couldn't play contact sports due to his health conditions. Now, Jeremiah decided to commentate on sports and now has covered the Super Bowl and interviewed Vice President Kamala Harris. Now, he also went on to the Jennifer Hudson show. Now, do you see why I say that he is more accomplished than me? Okay, I'm gonna give this young man his flowers because he's very inspiring. Okay, he went on to the Jennifer Hudson show as well, and in his own words, he says, quote, "It all started when I was 4 years old because I was told through my parents that I might not be able to play contact sports because I have a brain defect and a detachable shoulder bone. And that's what started it. But what's really driving me is because I want to make my parents proud at a young age because my mom very much has health issues and my dad is a senior citizen. Most kids think that their parents are going to last forever and for the rest of their childhood. But when I was 5 years old, mine almost died," end quote. Jeremiah then said that after not seeing his mother for a month, he had a, quote, "long conversation with God," end quote. And he said if God brought back his mom, he would be the greatest son that he could ever be. Now, the Los Angeles Raiders were his first NFL game, and he said that they will, quote, "have a very special place in his heart." And he always knew that he wanted to be in journalism. So he decided that he wanted to commentate on their games. And days after his cameo on Jennifer Hudson's show, the Raiders surprised this young man with a trip to the Super Bowl on February the 12th. And in addition to being a sports broadcaster, Jeremiah says that he hopes to be an entrepreneur and investor as well. So this is a very brilliant young man with impressive journalism skills, and this is amazing for him. And he's interviewing and he's talking to the players on the sidelines at the tender age of 9 or 10 years old. So way to go for him. I am so proud of this young man. Okay. And it's really important. Okay. It's really important. We can talk about the celebrity mess. We can talk about the messy subjects. We can talk about Tyrese having a meltdown or Jaguar Wright or Krishan Rock or any of these messy subjects out here pertaining to predominantly Black people, which is who and what I talk about. But it is important that we talk about the positive things happening in our community as well. I get it. It's less interesting to a lot of people. Literally 30 people that clicked off since I started reading this story. I'm watching the numbers. However, it's important. You know, we have a problem. We get so upset at how the media represents us, and we want more of a positive representation. But a lot of us aren't even interested in the positive stuff, the past Black history and Black excellence, and the current Black excellence that's happening present day. So I'm always going to do my due diligence and do my part and mix in. We're going to talk about serious stuff. We're going to talk about funny stuff. We're going to talk about the news. We're going to talk about history from back then and history that's happening right now. This is probably the youngest news commentator ever. Not the youngest Black sports commentator, the youngest sports commentator, period. And I'm going to make sure I give him his airtime, his flowers, and his due diligence because he definitely deserves it. So if we want to see better when it comes to conversations and news and media and YouTube, I get it. Like, we catch a lot of flack. A great amount of YouTube can be messy, but it's our responsibility to try to prioritize and find innovative ways to talk about positive Black news. I get it. A long-standing video about positive Black happenings, they don't get the views that messy stuff does. It just doesn't. And that's why it boggles my mind when some people, let's just say I do a video and I don't have a Black excellence topic in there, like a positive Black story. And all y'all talk about is mess. When I title a video about Black drama, 10,000, 15, 20,000 of y'all watch. When I upload a long-standing video about Black history and Black excellence, it barely cracks 2,000 views. And in the first day, it be sitting at 897. It's pathetic. because a lot of us are conditioned to only want to click on mess. That's more interesting than the positive stuff, which is why I have my creative way of mixing in the positive, the messy, which is why earlier we started off on a news or an informational note. And then we got into Tyler Perry. And then we got into a funny note. And then we got into a serious note with Breonna Taylor. It's a certain way that I do things to make sure that I'm spoon feeding my audience a nice blend and a nice mix of what I feel like we need. And some of the things that I complain about pertaining to how we're represented in the media. Well, if I don't like how the white media represents us, then how am I representing us? What am I contributing to the positive echoes that I want to hear or that I want to see pertaining to how we are represented? I'm a voice in the media. I am. I had a channel that had 102,000 subscribers. YouTube deleted it. I had to start over. Now I'm sitting at 31,000. Okay. I'm still a voice in the media. That's still a lot of influence. It's 1 o'clock in the morning and I got 300 of y'all sitting right here. So I still have a responsibility. I can't talk about how the white media represents us and what they don't do. And I don't do my part in talking about the positive and the excellence that's happening, whether it be the youth or whoever, right? The past or the present Black excellence. I have to do my part, and I'm always going to make sure I do so. And I might take a hit when I do so. When I do my Black history segments, sometimes I cut them and I upload them and they sit by themselves and they barely hit 2,000 views, but I've done my part. And that satisfies my heart and my soul because I know I've done what I needed to do. A lot of people don't even know that when you calling people Uncle Tom in a derogatory way, y'all don't even know who Uncle Tom really was. Y'all are misusing that term. And I've done videos about that, part 1s and part 2s, but nobody watches those videos. You can't just title positive Black news and people are not going to flock to it. Just like when I was talking about Jadakiss and his family-owned business with their coffee and their mocha business. It's a positive thing. I had to title that video, Jadakiss Family's Deep Dark Secret, to make people think that I was about to air out some secrets of his family, and the deep dark secret was the deep dark roast of his coffee. The video still didn't do that well, but it did a lot better because the title made people think, oh shit, we about to get some. We about to hear what Jadakiss family be doing in the dark. What they be doing in the dark is making dark roast coffee and selling it, and you need to buy some. That's what they be doing. So for me, myself, and I think Black content creators who are interested in talking about positive happenings in Black culture in general, we have to be really creative with how we draw people in to talk about positive stuff that's happening in our own community. And it's sad that we have to trick our own community and spoon feed our community into this positive stuff. But hey, that's the reality of it. I do think that it's sad, but I'm up for the challenge. I'm up for the challenge. And even if it's me uploading individual videos that don't do that well, I know I've done my due diligence as a content creator and as a voice in the media to put out the positive Black news that I would love for some of the mainstream media to put out as well. Because if a New York Post put out positive Black news about Black people, it would do very well and it would trickle down to the Black content creators who are talking about it, right? If the New York Post was talking about the true origin or the root, or whoever was talking about the Uncle Tom thing, it's not a bad, y'all are misusing this term, then that would send more traffic to my video because people would get the real backstories. I mean, I could go on and on and on about that, but they use Uncle Tom's comment in Snowfall. I don't watch Snowfall, so I'm unsure. But yeah, it's important to talk about all things, and I try to be very well balanced over here. Well balanced Black news representation. And that's what I do. Okay, that's what I do over here. Let me get off my soapbox. I get real passionate about people acting like, oh, is this all y'all can talk about is mess? And it's like, stop it. Because when we talk about positive stuff, the proof is in the numbers. Nobody's flocking to the positive looking titles. You have to make it sound negative and then come in and make it sound like you about to air somebody's dirty laundry out and then say, boom, this is that booming family business. This is this is that. Like it's a shame how people are set up to Thank y'all for listening. Let's get into our next. Let me see. Jane, I was number 1893 when I first subscribed to you, and I'm here again because I always enjoy the majority of the time. I always enjoy, and the majority of the time I agree with you. I've also learned a lot from you. Keep doing the work. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. It's crazy you remember which number subscriber you were, because I literally did have a little teeny amount of subscribers over here. Baby, when they deleted my channel that had 102,000 subscribers, I can't even describe that amount of devastation that I had, but it was a thing. It was a thing. We accept positivity from others, but not ourselves. It's really sad. Talk about it. Right? If I was to title a stream, Black History, whatever, do you know there will only be 70, 60 people sitting here with me? As opposed to, now I get it, it's late right now, but if I go live around like 9, 8, 7, I'm going to have like 500 folks. But if I was to go live around that same time and I'm like Black History, Black Excellent Stream, I guarantee you I probably only have 102 or so people. Literally. Mia, thank you so much for the $2.99 super sticker. I really do appreciate that. It means a lot. Thank you so much. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to get into some Black history. Okay. My brain is wrinkled up. Not one smooth spot. I remember because you were the first channel I subscribed to. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, don't make me blush. Stop. And you are Old Faithful. You're literally in every single chat of every single video, whether you're on the bus or on the replay, but most of the time I see you in the live too. So, yeah, that means a lot. Thank you. So now what we need to do is wrap the show up. I did have one other thing I wanted to add. It's getting a little late. It's getting a little long. So let's go ahead and get into our last segment, which is the Black History segment. Okay, let's go. Drop some pancakes, hit thumbs up if you have not already. There are 303 of y'all here, and there are only 273 thumbs up. The math not mathing. Can, like, what? You know what? I clearly I need to get Tyra. I didn't get Tyra to cuss y'all out earlier. Clearly, y'all need some lashings. Let's get y'all cussed out real quick.
But you're not. Stop it! I have never in my life yelled at a girl like this. When my mother yells at this, it's because she loves me. I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you? Learn something from this. You go to bed at night, you lay there, and you take responsibility for yourself.
Y'all thought it was a game. Hit that damn like button and stop playing with me and stop playing with Tyra. Because she really rag on y'all, okay? That woman is still scarred from what Tyra did to her. Nonetheless, let's get into some Black history because if you don't already know, and you really should if you're watching my channel, I prioritize Black over everything. Black history is so much more than a month. It's so much more than a month. So what we're going to do is we're going to get into our Black history segment. Let's go. Drop some pancakes in the chat and hit thumbs up. Let go.
Now, let's spend a little bit of time with our ancestors, or at least listening to them, because you know they always tell us you don't know where you're going unless you know where you came from. So let's get into a little bit of Black history with this Black history moment.
You in that crowd.
They got me in the system. Why they gotta do me like that?
Got love for y'all, which I don't cover. Just
about the
All right, now if you don't hit thumbs up for nothing else, you damn sure better hit it for that amazing intro that I made myself. Okay, that amazing bumper that I made with the music, all of the Black Power songs, and especially the song at the very end. If anybody can name that song at the very end, I'll send you a $5 Cash App right now. And if you want me to play it again, let me know. Let me know. I need to create a timer so I can ask y'all to vote. If y'all want me to play it again, at the very last page where you see the fist jumping up and down. If you can name where that theme music is coming from, I'll send you a $5 Cash App. Okay. Somebody said play it again. Okay. Y'all want to try to guess? Okay. So you got some people trying to win their little $5 a night. Let's get it. And again, I'm talking about the one where you see the fist pulsating up and down up against the wrinkled black paper in the background. Okay.
Now, let's spend a little bit of time with our ancestors, or at least listening to them, because you know they always tell us you don't know where you're going unless you know where you came from. So let's get into a little bit of Black history with this Black History moment.
You in that crowd.
They got me in the system. Why they gotta do me like that?
And I know I can be what I wanna be what I wanna be.
We've got love for y'all, which I don't cover. Just
About the feeling.
get down.
Okay, so y'all are really good. Y'all are really good. The person who got it first before I even played it again is Black Sheep. It did come from the 007 game. The second person to get it was Adore Aaliyah. But yeah, Black Sheep, if you want to put your if you want to put your Cash App in the chat, let me know, and I will go ahead and send that to you. Shout out to you for recognizing. I have so many themes from the 90s, like low key. So yeah, that's just that. So shout out to y'all. Aw, you are so sweet. Look at you. Shout out to you. So what I'll do is I'll give it to the person who can give me some really good timestamps on this video. If you give me some really good timestamps on this video, leave it in the comments down below, and make sure you include your Cash App, and I will send the $5 to that person. Oh, that's a really good swap out, because I do need some good timestamps without me necessarily having to go back and watch the thing. So that's what we'll do. All right. So let's get into this piece of Black history. Actually has me it had me shook. I literally learned something new today, and I learned 2 new words. I won't tell you what words, but we're going to go ahead and get into this. I hope that all of you all are ready for this Black history. that we're going to get into today.
The following video is broadcasting live, and thank you for being my studio audience. Thank you for hitting thumbs up and subscribing to my channel for more Black news, celebrity entertainment, and a splash of controversy.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into our Black History tidbit for today. Again, Black History is not a month. It's so much more than a month, but we're going to talk about this today. Okay. So, did you know that a Black enslaved man was responsible for introducing inoculation, which is honestly like an old dated term for vaccination, to America? His name was Onesimus, and he introduced the idea of vaccination based upon the African practice of inoculation to Libya to help mitigate the spread of smallpox, thus saving lives. Okay, here's this man right here, nice looking man. Okay, like his little in between a fro and a Caesar, and you can even see this image here. All right, so let's continue with this information. So Onesimus was an enslaved African who introduced the concept of inoculation to America, and he helped save hundreds of Bostonians from smallpox in 1721. But his role has hardly been told. It began in 1716 when he was asked by his owner, who was a prominent Puritan minister. He was asked about a scar on his forearm, and Onesimus described the basics of smallpox inoculation, which again is another word for vaccination, which was a practice that was common in Africa and Asia, but relatively unknown in the American colonies. So Onesimus explained that when the pus from an infected individual's pustules is inserted into the broken skin of an unaffected person, the person suffers a mild reaction, but becomes immune to future infection. And what does that remind you of? Think about something as simple as the regular flu shot, right? You get a regular flu shot if you've ever had one. I haven't, but I do know the science behind it and the effects that my friends and colleagues and family members have had. Flu shots, they give you a small dose of it in the vaccine, which makes you immune from it. Who would have known that the thought process of that came from a Black man? Okay. Let's continue. And if you don't know, let's just go back over this part, right? Onesimus explained that when pus from an infected individual's pustules is inserted into the broken skin of an unaffected person, the person suffers a mild reaction but becomes immune to future infection. When we talk about what pustules, like what is a pustule? A pustule is literally a bump. It's red, it's irritable, and there's pus underneath it and pus at the head of it. And this is the time in which smallpox was a thing. So that's what they were talking about. And so they were taking pus from infected people and putting it into others. And that is how they began to create a quote unquote vaccine of said disease, right? Now, in the words of Onesimus, as transcribed some years later, they said, quote, people take juice of the smallpox and cut his skin and put in a drop. Now, this is dated language, right? But they're basically saying, listen, they're taking this stuff out of the smallpox and they're out of the people who are infected with it, and they're injecting it into others, right? Dated language, but if you get it, you get it. Now, the enslaved Africans' suggestions based on a physician named Zabdiel, who went in to attempt the procedure on his son. Then he went in to put it on to other folks as well. And so inoculation, which again, a dated term for vaccination, it saved hundreds of lives. And the two men have gone down in history as the life-saving duo who took inoculation, okay, to the American colonies. Again, it was only over in, what was it? Libya and Africa, right? It was an African practice. It was done in Africa and Libya. Okay. It went on to save hundreds of lives, and the two men have gone down in history as the life-saving duo who took inoculation to the American colonies. And this is a procedure that eventually led to Edward Jenner's discovery of vaccination, which has spared millions of lives from diseases. Now, Onemius, however, the black man, right? Because you can see clearly there was a man who was not of color who was involved. Onemius was all but erased from the story of medical triumph. So let's appreciate the millions of lives saved and still being saved through his discovery. So who would have known that the origin of vaccines and understanding that, hey, just take a little bit from the infected folks, inject a little bit of that into you. You might feel a little down the first couple of days, but this is going to make you immune. This is going to save you. This is going to serve as a vaccine to make you immune to said whatever. At this time, it was smallpox, but this has been proven to be true throughout several different diseases and sicknesses and illnesses, etc. A black man, a black man, a black man, a black man. Come on now, let's be real. This is real black history, real black excellence. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I honestly had no clue. I learned a fact and I learned 2 new words today. And I'm so happy about that. Okay? Inoculation. Inoculation? A dated and old school term for vaccination, right? The other word that I learned today, I'll be transparent and let you know what word I use. My vocabulary is something that I'm very proud of. For lack of better words, I can't really think of any other words. It's another word within this write-up. Okay, here's the word. Onemius explained that when the pus from an affected individual's pustules is inserted, it was pustules for me. I'm like, pustules. And as a matter of fact, I'll let you all hear it.
Pustule.
Pustule. And so what it is a small blister or pimple on the skin containing pus, right? I know it might sound a little nasty to some, right? But it's, if you have a pimple, and you might have a whitehead or something, there's pus, but we're talking about the time in which smallpox was very relevant back in the 1800s. And he was very prominent. Make sure I get his name right. Onesimus. He was very prominent in helping people to understand that, look, you just take a little bit out of the infected folks and stick it in the uninfected folks, and that'll make them immune to it. Because they had lots of pimples. Smallpox was a whole bunch of different pimples full of pus. The fact that he was able to scientifically get down to that and experiment in that way, tell us we ain't great. Tell me that we ain't great. Let me get in the comments and see what y'all are saying. Tell us that we ain't great. Somebody said the word is so used in healthcare. Baby, I ain't never heard pustules in my life. I ain't never heard it. Okay. You built your immunity through exposure. Well, I mean, I had the Rona once, so I guess maybe that's why I maybe won't get it again. But I think I caught it through contact of the people, because child, one time I said over here, I said I never got the vaccine. I never got the jab. And they were like, oh, you're an anti-vax channel. All I'm saying is I never got the vaccine, but I had the Rona once. And so that's that. So I think that maybe that helped. My immune system already had it, but it's not that I needed to be injected with anything. It's just the fact that I caught it and I survived it. So I don't know. But to think that even that process, right? Because even if we go like back before Rona and all that, think about, for me, the most ready example for me is the flu shot. Put a little dose of the flu shot in somebody, their arm might be a little sore, they might be a little sluggish that day. It's the thuggish, ruggish bomb. The thuggish, ruggish bomb. The thuggish, ruggish bomb. The thuggish, ruggish bomb. Feeling the shit from the bronx. So when we feeling this from the bronx, with other people's stuff that we injecting inside, I just don't feel like you always need it injected. Sometimes you just might catch it. But who would have thought that a Black person really invented or created or did enough of the scientific experiments to understand that all you need is a small dose of an infected person's blah, 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 in order to prevent you from having whatever's going on. You know what I mean? This is a really interesting piece in Black history, in my opinion. In my opinion. It's Black history, if you ask me. But nonetheless, feeling this shit from the... Okay. The thuggish rugged... Oh my God, the real-time education has me rolling. Jesus, school and struggle. Stop it. Stop it. No, but the scientific term for a pimple was like, damn, not a pustule. A pustule? It's
Pustule.
a pustule. Bitch, it sounds like an apostle to me. Bitch, we talking about Jesus and the 12 apostles. Because Judas was... What are we really talking about? The apostles is what's going on? Stop pumping me up, y'all, because I will start singing. Meet me at the crossroads. You won't be lonely. Y'all won't be lonely. All right, we gotta chill. You won't be lonely. So, and I'm gonna miss everybody. And I'm gonna miss everybody. And I'm gonna miss everybody. Stop, y'all. Cut it out. 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 Right now. Y'all being real dark-sided in the comments. Okay? Posture. And I'm gonna miss everybody. It's the first day of the month. Stop. You guys, stop it. Stop. Right now, you all, everybody, and everyone here needs to stop it. Just stop. Rest in peace to that possum I ran over. Not me, him at the park. You ran over a possum? Well, if you ran over a possum, you were supposed to, because there were some ugly things. Living in a hateful world, sitting on the street to okay, period. Plus light, plus that comes out. Yeah, plus light, plus that comes out the store. At the red, I can't remember the red. I was singing the Red House yesterday. Hey, yo, I miss my Uncle Charles, y'all. Bye. No, it's a good one. Hey, yo, I miss my Uncle Charles, y'all. No, if you kill somebody's dog or you kill their cat, like you really out of line. Oh, y'all are wild. Y'all are wild. Y'all are wild. Living in a hateful world, got the strict air. People were sending me Trick Daddy stuff today too, because they was like, "Oh, he ain't always been ugly," and I'm like, clearly he wasn't always ugly, but like, his behavior, was a little, it was a little dark side. Wait a minute, no. His behavior has been very dark sided for a while, and therefore, like, that's what it's been, like. And I know I earned my first class. Ticket to hell yesterday. She was, "Oh, he had lupus. You talking about his looks and he got lupus." Like, he also refused to go to the dentist for 15 years. And he was on crack. And he was on drugs. So, yeah, he might have had an illness too. But, okay, cool. Okay, cool. All right. I earned my ticket and gasoline draws. But I be talking to Jesus, though. So, y'all might think I'm going to hell, but I just think I'm telling the truth about somebody, and even Jesus might feel like I'm being too harsh. I'm gonna have to answer for that at the pearly gates. He can be like, Jesus gonna be like, why you talking about Trick Daddy like that? And I'm like, Jesus, he a melted milk dud. But you know, Jesus, he's a milk dud that's melted. He's deformed. He's a clearance. What they call this stuff on clearance? That's not equal. Jesus, I'm sorry, but I don't think that it was just the lupus contributing to his looks. He talked bad about the women. I'll answer. I'll answer for okay. But I don't think I'm going to hell, you know. But, I mean, I was joking around to say, all right, I got on my gasoline draws. But come on, man. People like to use a little sickness to be like, don't make fun of me. Lupus and crack do two different things. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Hey, yo, I miss my Uncle Charles, y'all. Not you miss your cheerleader. You know what? You got to go.
She can be a Jew and
She's not a Christian!
she can be a Jew and believe
It
in
doesn't
God.
matter. She's pretty and dark-sided and stuffed. Yes, she did. The entire house is dark-sided.
She said her whole house is.
She is dark-sided too. Find me a church. I've done everything everybody else wants to do. Find me a church to go to. I need peace in my heart. I need it now. Bring me.
Roll up on your wrist and plain Jane.
Baby. I need peace in my heart. I need it now. Bring me. Okay. So look, when we start pulling up crazy clips and I say, look, I need peace in my heart. I need it now. Bring me. Please understand where it's coming from. Baby, it's coming from her. This woman is an icon. That's why I don't believe in this whole digital blackface shit that came out. I ain't got time to talk about it right now. But baby, there's some black people that feel like white people shouldn't use black memes. Well, bitch, I'm going to use white memes. This lady is a whole fucking meme. Fuck that. Stop it. White people should use black memes because girl. Now we get tired of people saying y'all making everything about color, but bitch, I know you ain't sitting up here trying to segregate memes, bitch. White people, if white people can't use black memes, that means I can't use white memes, and we gonna have to keep it even. I ain't doing it. I ain't letting up off dark-sided. That shit is funny, and it's a couple of other funny things that white people got going on. And I ain't gonna stop using these memes. They talk about if white people use a black meme, it's digital blackface. Man, if you don't, what time is it? Ain't that many people watching. Man, if you don't suck my dick from the back and get the fuck out my face when you done, the money's on the dresser. Are you out of your motherfucking mind? How dark-sided is you? How dark-sided is it for you to think and don't get me wrong, that most of the time when I'm looking for gifts, I'm looking for black gifts. I ain't gonna hold you on that. But for you to tell me I'm not allowed to use white gifts, because that has to be the rule for me, right? If you're saying that white folks are not allowed to use black gifts, that means that the rule has to be reciprocal, correct? If white folks are not allowed to use black memes and gifts, that means I'm not allowed to use white memes and gifts. And bitch, no. Y'all are politicizing shit and overthinking shit and creating think pieces for shit that don't fucking matter. It's unfucking necessary. And you know what? To be honest, I need peace in my heart and I need it now. Find me a church. Because you're out of your mind if you think we're about to sit here and we're going to separate. At the Red House, you're doing too much. You're doing a little bit too much. As a matter of fact, you're not doing a little bit too much. You're doing a bit too goddamn much. Seek some help. Talk to somebody. Find you a therapist. You're doing too much. These think pieces you're making, you've got a lot of really good energy, baby. And really, I want to call you bitch, but I'm going to say baby. Baby, put that shit into something else. Digital blackface. Oh, if you're white and you use a black meme, it's digital blackface. Well, bitch, if I use a white meme from The Office, bitch, am I doing digital whiteface? Ooh, what's that? Grow up! All right, we're done. Bye. Y'all got me wilding out right now, and it's just too much. It's dark-sided. Y'all got me in this dark-sided behavior. It's just way too much. At the Red House. I could see pretending to be black on your profile, and that being digital blackface, right? You're pretending to be a black person and you're white. That's clearly digital blackface. But bitch, using a black meme. So guess what? If I use a meme of Erica Mena in my digital Latina face, stop! Y'all confusing shit that don't need to be confused. Y'all on my motherfucking nerves, and I'm gonna tell you that right the fuck now. Y'all are out of pocket. Y'all are completely and absolutely out of motherfucking pocket. And I'm going to tell y'all that right now. Shit. It's dark-sided. It's...
Why?
I feel like the people are very lucky that they didn't get a video from me when digital blackface was a thing 3-ish weeks ago, because I feel like it was like 2.5-ish going on 3 weeks ago. Niggas was off the chain. It's just too much. And then I had some people that I follow and I love that were like, yeah, let's enforce this.
She's not a Christian!
She could be a Jew and believe in
It
God.
doesn't matter. She's tampering and dark-sided and stuff. Yes, she did. The entire house is dark-sided.
She said her whole house is.
She is dark-sided too. Find me a church. I've done everything everybody else wants to do. Find me a church to go to. I need peace in my heart. I need it now. Bring me.
Roll up on your wrist for plain Jane.
Period. Bring me the peace. Bring me the peace. I need the peace. You all should have the peace. Clearly, y'all got all the answers. Y'all seem precious. Clearly, who gonna love me? Since you got all the answers and you got your notepad and your degree and you know every fucking thing, who gonna love me? And you know every fucking thing. Because who brought that white bitch to my buzzer? You brought that white bitch down. Go down to the welfare. Who won't love me? You got your pen and your pad and you sit behind your desk and you know every fucking thing and you got your degree. Who gonna love me? Y'all, who brought that bitch? Y'all brought that bitch to my buzzer? Who brought that white bitch to my buzzer? Who? Who? You think he loved you more because he gave you more kids than me? You think you better than me? Precious. I'm talking to you, Precious. Precious. Artichoke said, can you please tell me where the fuck I can go to get whatever edibles you had earlier? Thank you for the $9.99 super chat. But the thing about it is I had no edible. I just know how to get into a certain character. That movie is so... I know that movie like the back of my hand. I know that movie like the back of my head. Who gonna love me? Precious. This you know so much, and you know and you got your fucking degree. Who gonna love me? Ain't no edible. I just... Went down to the welfare and the 1, 2, 3. Child, she threw that baby and threw that damn TV. Child, Monique was shit in that movie. Lord. Oh, she did do that pig's feet. I can't remember what she said. I can't remember what she said about the pig's feet, but she was very dissatisfied with the pig's feet. She was very fucking dissatisfied with the pig's feet. Down at the welfare. You brought that white bitch to my buzzer? I ain't bring her here. Well, why she at my buzzer? You went down there to each one teach one. Each one teach one. And you brought her down to my buzzer. I cannot with you all. I cannot with you all. She was upset at the pig's feet, though. I can't remember what that quote. I'm going to go learn it, and I'm going to come back to you. She do with these pig's feet. Ooh. The type of mother I imagined. I cannot. Maybe more asking they finna wear me out. Hey, y'all ain't finna wear me out. Precious running with a bucket of chicken was out of pocket. All right, let me go ahead and get out of here. It's been almost 3 hours. This has been a very great video. We talked about a lot of really good things. We got into our Black history, which honestly, like I said, when it comes to vaccines in general, a lot of us, I feel like I use the example of the flu shot, because when you get your flu shot, you're literally getting a tiny dose of the flu to make you immune to it. Who would have known that originated, that science, that experiment, that certainty of here's how you make yourself and others immune to XYZ or whatever disease. You put a little bit of said disease in yourself. Who would have known that came from a Black person? I would have had no clue. However, that came from a Black person. And I'm glad that we were able to go over that via this evening's Black History moment, although I got led astray with, and that's me, that's my fault. I got led astray with precious reenactions, but it is a thing, right? And sometimes mixing the funny in is what keeps people reeled into being fed the Black excellence or the Black history of whatever is going on, right? So I don't regret the laughs. I just wish I could have put the laughs after the wrap up of this segment, but I do think I did wrap up this segment. But nonetheless, I'm glad that we were able to get into some Black history. We got into a lot of different subjects today. Of course, it lasted a little longer than I wanted it to, but it's not a 5-hour video, right? This is a less than a 3-hour video. It's a 2.5-ish hour video. And I appreciate all of you all being here. Okay. Who would have known that Black folks were responsible for the origin of vaccines and the way that it spread exponentially, right? So, you have no clue what you're going to learn when you're watching my show. You know you're going to laugh. You know you're going to be entertained. You know you're going to be informed. And that's what my show is about. So thank y'all for watching. I see some people even saying thank you, even though I feel like I went off track a little bit. There are still some people saying thank you. Jane's dropping black jewels, so on and so forth. Thank you all so much. I feel like the goofiness keeps some of y'all in here, even though sometimes I end the live and I'm like, damn, I could have kept it all serious. But you know what? The goofiness might have kept some of the people who have a certain attention span here. So it is what it is. And thank you, Jane. Always informative and funny at the same time. Thank you. I appreciate that. I love you all so much. I really, really do. Y'all know I have a really hard time saying goodbye. So I'm going to just read my script and go ahead and get out of here. Be sure to tag me in your favorite trending topics on Instagram and on Twitter. Thanks for watching. Thank you for checking the community tab. Thank you for subscribing to my backup channel, which is linked down below, the TPJ Network. Don't forget to do something to decompress today. Let me know your thoughts on all of the topics that we discussed today. Make sure you keep it sticky and real down below in the comments, especially if you're chasing the bus. And listen, subscribe, thumbs up or down. Either way, I appreciate it. Be sure to hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of this celebrity or trending syrup, because you know things are always sticky in Hollywood and in real life. And drop one of them pancake emojis down below. And don't forget to stay beautiful, black, and blessed until the next video. And I do plan on going live, I would say tomorrow, but it's 1:45 over here in Baltimore. So, but I do plan on going live later on today, whether it be about R. Kelly or other trending topics. Okay. Jane, you are who you are, and that's why we're here. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. I appreciate the fact that y'all understand that sometimes I get sidetracked, and I feel like sometimes me getting sidetracked helps you all stay here. Because if I just came here and I was a straight news show, y'all would get bored, because it'd be like, damn, she only sticking to the topics and there's no room for her personality. The room for my personality is when I become seldomly sidetracked. Sometimes. But nonetheless, I will see you all later on today, whether I see you all outside of the paywall or whether we're talking members only, with all of the different Netflix things that myself and y'all have been watching. The next Netflix stream that we will have, I won't only be talking about what I've seen. I will be opening up the floor for our channel members for y'all to talk about what y'all have seen as well. And I have about 3 different films that I've seen that I want to speak about with you all. So we'll talk about those things. I'm sending y'all positivity, good vibes, and all that stuff as always. And I'm going to catch y'all in the next video. Stay beautiful, life, and blessed. And I'll catch y'all later on today. Deuces.
But that's it. If you want to catch more of my commentary on Black culture or vital and trending information, be sure to subscribe by hitting that little circle in the middle of the screen. Or I'll catch you in one of these rectangles to the right in another video. I'll see you there.